What's up? So I was thinking about something a couple days ago, and I realized why my higher self was calling me Jonah. Besides the obvious, with the story of Jonah, Jonah's supposed to go tell the people of Nineveh that, hey, y'all, God's going to destroy the city 40 days if you don't, turn from your ways. Uh, but instead of him doing it, he got on a boat and was going in the opposite direction. And then, of course, about the whale part of the story. And I don't know if anybody believes that or not. And really, it doesn't matter if you believe it or not. It's what the whale symbolizes. Uh, the whale symbolizes an impossible situation, right? An impossible situation. And for me, my impossible situation is depression because I I never imagined that I could be depressed or get depressed because I'm Shannon Hughes. You know, I've been through so many things or experienced so many things in my life from childhood up until this moment and was able to make it out without hating anybody, without being strung out on drugs or selling my body for drugs or for money or, you know, without just being a menace to society or whatever, like in the eyes of some people, I'm a walking miracle. Um, but depression, depression is my impossible situation because I wasn't shining my light. I wasn't sharing my story with people. I felt like y'all didn't want to hear from me. Like y'all didn't want to hear what I had to say, and you just want to do what you want to do, which is, it's your right to do whatever you want to do. But who am I to say who am I to suggest anything? You know, we're out here in the world trying to do our best, and everybody is doing their best. And at one point, I realized that I felt like I was behind, and I was trying to catch up with everybody else. So who am I to say anything? You know? So I just stopped talking, which is not what my higher self wanted me to do. Like, I agreed to be here on this planet. I agreed to be in this body. I agreed to have certain experiences. I agreed. I agreed. That was part of my contract for being here. And I was going against the contract. Um, I was going against what I promised, what I signed up for by being silent and thinking that what I say, what I wanted to say didn't have value. And in doing so, my soul got sad. And I believe that's what happens when we don't do the stuff, when we don't share who we are with the world, when we don't do the things that makes us happy, when we don't, when we aren't obedient to God or your higher self or your oversoul, when we stop listening to them and we run in the opposite direction, which is what I did. I just shut down. I shut down and I got really, really sad. And first it was a deep sadness, but then it really went into depression. And it felt like I couldn't control it. It just came as it pleased. And then, and that started last year. It started really last year, like a little bit before my birthday. And a couple months ago, I just kept hearing the name Jonah. Like I would hear it in one place and I heard it on the radio and then I heard it somewhere else. And so I knew what it meant to be called that. So read the story of Jonah, and it's an interesting story, really. It's a story of how when we don't, adhere to the call, when we try to go in the other way, our higher self will, our higher selves will make an impossible situation happen. It will make an impossible situation possible. Cause how did Jonah end up in the whale? Like for real. Do you really think that a human being can survive within the whale? Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody actually tried that out and then lived to tell the tale. So, so I had to, we have to look at it a different way. What does that mean for me today? Are you in an impossible situation that you never thought you would be in or could be in? Like it really feels impossible, but it's possible because you're sitting in it. Maybe you want to check in with your higher self. Have a talk with God and be like, check some things out. Because maybe we're supposed to do something that we're not doing. Maybe our soul's really, really sad because we're not doing the thing that we were created to do. In my case, I was created to shine my light in various ways. One is through sharing my story, just like I'm doing now. The other is through music because I love to sing. I love instruments. Um, the other is through writing. I am a really great writer, which was proven to me this year with school because it was really feeling like I was pulling things out of my butt to complete these uh, speeches and reports, and especially waiting the last minute to do it. I'm just typing and typing and it really felt like I was just making stuff up. But I'm passing like, and not just barely making it. I'm like having my professors commending me on my writing, and I had to like step back and look like and say to myself, I really am a great writer, and I have so many ideas for stories that I've had over the past year and beyond that I haven't, like, I wrote the ideas down, but I hadn't started it yet. And so that we all have gifts and talents. We all have things that we bring to the table, and when we don't bring those things to the table, we we suffer. Our soul suffers. But not only that, there are people that aren't getting fed because we're not we're not bringing it to the table. We're not sharing. And there are people who are not being fed or who are not being uh, uplifted. They're not being encouraged or motivated in the ways that I can do those things because I wasn't bringing it to the table. I just wasn't. I was downplaying all of my gifts, thinking that, it wasn't good enough in whatever way, shape, or form. And that I was completely wrong. And my oversoul, my higher self, God, just, put me in an impossible situation, and then bam, I am experiencing depression, you know. And so it's something really, really cool though, that on Thanksgiving I was talking with my dad, and he was like, what's wrong? Is everything okay? And I said, I'm experiencing depression. And he was like, why? And I was like, I don't know, you know. And I explained to him how it felt. I said it felt like someone is, if there's a dimmer switch, someone's, you know, turning it all the way down. And he says to me, well, don't let anybody operate that switch. Don't let anybody turn the switch down. And I automatically said, I'm not. But, I knew it was something important about what he said. And so I believe that when I don't when I'm not in alignment or when I'm not in agreement with my soul, my spirit, when I'm not in alignment with my divinity, with my oversoul, my higher self, with God, I'm allowing something else to control me. And I'm not sure exactly what that is, because I don't want to say it's my oversoul doing it, but I feel like it's something that's doing it. And I'm going to play Blues Clues and I'm going to figure it out because it may also be the same being or energy that really likes alcohol. Because that morning when I was experiencing depression on Thanksgiving, like I was really craving alcohol, and that is not like me. That's just not that's just not like me. So it's very, very interesting. But I'm really, really excited to explore more into that. But yeah, depression, it's the impossible situation. It's the impossible made possible just to get my attention. And I'm grateful. Yeah, it sucks to experience depression, but I'm grateful to be experiencing it because it's a different level of lowness. As a multi-dimensional being, it's a lowness that we, descend into. It's another way of feeling things, another way of seeing things. It's another, but I'm taking notes about, with all of this so that I can better understand myself and others because I really want to help people and give people hope. Or not even just hope, just to help people see that there's a way out and nothing is definite. Nothing. Like even with death, the body dies, but it doesn't mean we die. You know, the body and there's always a way out, and nothing is ever just the end. There's always a way out. There's always a way to rise above whatever we are experiencing. And my life is a testament of that. So if you are in an impossible situation, if you are a part of a situation that you never thought would be possible, check in with God, check in with your higher self, and have a conversation and ask, am I in alignment with what I came here to do? Is there something that I'm supposed to be doing that I'm not doing? Because I believe depression is the sadness, the experience of it is the sadness of the soul. And I really don't want to be sad anymore. Not, I get, sadness comes, but I don't want my soul to be sad. I don't want to be disobedient to my calling. I don't want to listen to the voices in my head that say that I'm sharing something or I'm oversharing something or don't share this because they're not going to understand or don't share it out of fear of me having to explain something or defend myself. Like I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to share the stuff. I want to do the stuff. And that's why I've been sharing more and more. So if you're in what feels like an impossible situation, check in. I think your higher self. I think God is waiting to hear from you. That's all I got. I love you. Until the next video.